View Laker TV and Calloway Live events on our website at CallowayLive.com. And follow us on Twitter to receive programming alerts at Calloway Live. That's Laker TV at Calloway Live.
Good afternoon, Lakers. Hope you're enjoying this Arctic blast as much as I am.
Well, I'm not enjoying it. It looks like the day after tomorrow out there. Am I right?
Don't say that, please. We do not want that to happen. Knock on some wood.
Well, how would wood change the weather?
Okay, well, anyways, speaking of all this cold weather, a recent power shutdown on the Murray State University campus on January 6th turned out to be more than a little inconvenient. As the temperatures dropped into single digits that evening, frozen water lines burst in some buildings on campus, and the results damaging was costly. MSU power contract allows TVA to cut off electrical service to university during extreme peak demand in the region. But according to reporter Jake Burnett, the problem started when MSU's backup generators failed to kick in.
I went to Murray State University to talk to Kim Oatman to see how bad the business building was affected by the recent Murray State shutdown.
Well, the problem is the way we heat these buildings is we deliver steam to the buildings. We create steam in big boilers at a central place, the central plant. We send steam out to the buildings, and the steam comes into the buildings, gets converted to hot water. Hot water goes through coils, and then air is forced across those coils and into the building. So that's kind of the way the system works. So when we had the outage on a 4-degree night, it caused some of the water in the coils to freeze. Basically what happens is that frozen water expands and causes damage, opens up parts of the coil so that when it thaws out, there's a hole and it won't hold water and it leaks and it won't work right. So what we've had to do here at the business building, which is really one of the worst buildings on campus as far as damage goes, is we've had to replace, or in the process of replacing these coils.
I asked Kim Oatman how long the north wing of the business building will be shut down.
And the other two, we're able to deliver enough heat down the corridors, down the hallways, to heat up the classrooms and offices just enough to keep them comfortable. So if the weather will hold out, we'll be fine, and then we'll get these new coils in and have it operating the way it should.
For Laker TV, I'm Jake Burnett.
With all of this reconstruction going on at MSU, they'll be needing skilled people to help fix this problem. And where do people get such skills? We sent reporter Andrew Green to find out.
Over at the vocational school, students of the Carpentry 2 class have been furthering their skills in carpentry.
We do ceiling and wall framing and frame rafters and stuff like that, and then we do a lot of extra stuff like routing and whatnot, and just making stuff for churches and for anybody, pretty much anybody that wants us to make anything.
That was Bryson Elliott, a CCHS senior who is planning on making a career out of what he is learning from instructor Paul Hayden. This particular class meets both third and fourth block this semester.
Well, I like to go ahead and build stuff that I know I can build, and I like to build stuff out of wood, of course. So I feel carpentry, I'm pretty good at it. I do it at my house all the time, so I should be able to do it here.
Some students are building a shed for Murray Lumber. Other students are doing other services for local churches and businesses. For Laker TV, I'm reporter Andrew Green.
Thanks, Andrew. Coming up next, Eric McCultrick gives us an inside look at the academic team preparing for this Saturday.
But before that, Jake Burnett checks out an upcoming change in the new area code.
Starting February 1st, a transition period will start. And
Kentucky has started to run out of phone numbers, so the Public Service Commission has decided to overlay the 270 area code with an additional 364 area code. Jake Burnett went around campus to see what everyone thought about this change.
After celebrating the Laker victory at President's Cup on January the 10th, the academic team now looks forward to the upcoming District Governor's Cup.
We have practice
Starting February 1st, a transition period will start, and by March 1st, all local calls will have to be a 10-digit call. You might have to change your friend's contact number. I asked a student and a couple teachers on their opinions.
Change, change, change. How can old folks like me remember?
I'm going to have to dial a lot more numbers than I used to.
They affect me as much. I've always dialed 10 digits.
I were you, I would start calling 10-digit calls just to get in the habit. For LakerTV, I'm Jake Burnett.
Don't worry about having to get a new number though. All previous 270 numbers will stay the same, but any new phones purchased after March 3rd will have the new area code.
One thing that hasn't changed this year is the academic team's winning streak. Winning their last 12 matches, the CCHS academic team is dominating their opponents this season. Tomorrow, the Governor's Cup districts will be held at Calloway County Middle School. Producer Eric McCulchick takes an inside look into the team's preparation for the tournament.
After celebrating the Laker victory at President's Cup on January the 10th, the academic team now looks forward to the upcoming District Governor's Cup.
We have practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with districts on Saturdays.
The whole team has been preparing for districts all year long, but some members may not get to go.
You can only have 3 people compete in each of the written assessment areas for the district competition.
I may not make it because there are a lot of people who want that position, and there's always a chance that you won't be able to make it, but hopefully.
Governor's Cup consists of team members taking a written test in 1 or 2.
Next up, Jake Burnett takes us into the world of Laker sports with a special behind the scenes with one of our wrestling stars.
Then we will be back with some of our New Year resolutions, as well as interesting movies for this time of the year.
Do you like traveling? If so, check out student traveling program People to People. You'll have the opportunity to earn high school credit while traveling the world. Get to experience up to 7 continents, 40 countries, and the journey of a lifetime. Visit www.peopletopeople.com to learn more.
I'm Jake Burnett, and this week on LakerTV Sports, a recap of last Friday night's crosstown shootout and a closer look into the world of high school wrestling. So let's get started. Last Friday night, the Murray High Tigers came to the Jeffrey Gym to play the Laker girls and boys. At the halftime break, the Lady Lakers only trailed by 1 point, thanks to a couple of incredible half-court shots at the end of the first and second quarter by Bailey Brown and Summer Simmons. But the Lady Tigers took it over in the second half and cruised to a 61-46 victory. Meanwhile, the Callaway boys jumped out early and never looked back, pulling off an amazing victory with a final score of 69-49, a 20-point margin. That makes it 6th year in a row to defeat the Tigers. They'll meet again on next Friday. This week, the boys team is making a couple trips to Metropolis for the Superman Classic, losing to Charleston, Missouri on Tuesday, but bouncing back Thursday night to win the Century High with a score of 68-36. Callaway returns to Metropolis Saturday for the final round. Now, last week I told you we were going to offer some insight on one of the many stars of Laker wrestling, a team that had been dominating almost all of their competition this year. So here's a featured look at senior wrestler Isaiah Frank.
Wrestling has definitely made me a more confident person, like outside of the sport. It also teaches me how to respect adults more, and it disciplines me a lot. Definitely stick with it. If it's your first year, you're definitely going to lose a lot of matches. That most of the time brings people down. So you just stick with it, and you'll get better. I feel pretty confident. I beat McCracken last week, I think it was, and Fort Campbell I wrestled in the finals at 45. So I haven't seen their 152 pounder, but I'm not too scared. The competition, I mean, you're going up against another human being. You don't know what they're going to do. There's nothing you can really prepare for. sports. I plan to wrestle in college. Right now, I got my eye on Ohio State, but any other colleges that look at me, I'll probably accept.
Our thanks to producer Austin Alexander for doing a great job with that piece. This Saturday, Calloway is hosting the Laker Invitational Wrestler Tournament right here on our campus in Jeffrey Gym. We'll also be providing live coverage on our local TV channels and on CallawayLive.com. And let's hit the pool for final Monday. The Laker swim team competed in the Paducah-Tillman Invitational. Some of the highlights include swim team winning 3rd place in 200 and 400 meter freestyle relays. We also want to say congratulations to Marco O'Brien for setting a new school record in both the 50 and 100 meter freestyle swim. Up next for the swim team, they'll be competing in the First Region Swim Championship on 14th and 15th in Owensboro. That's what's up in Laker sports. Now back to Kayla Little and Mason Cushing.
Hey seniors, have you seen your class shirts? If you want one, then Miss Lovelace is the person to see. If you haven't gotten your order form, then you can pick one up at Miss Lovelace's door. Money and order forms are due by February 7th, so swing by and order one today.
Also, the basketball homecoming is February the 11th, so get to nominating a homecoming queen candidate. Your CCHS club or organization can nominate as many senior girls as you would like. Each nomination is $10. The girls' basketball team, boys' basketball team, and the cheerleaders will all receive one free nomination. All nominations are due Friday, January 31st by noon. Every time a new year rolls around, many people are getting more exercise, their New Year's resolution. Staying fit and healthy is a noble aspiration, but surveys show less than half of Americans are willing to do anything about it. Earlier this week, reporter Dakota Futch took his camera crew to find out if any of you made a New Year resolution.
Each year, approximately 45% of Americans make New Year's resolutions. Only 8% of those actually achieve theirs. 49% never succeed and fail each year. I went out recently and asked you guys if you made one this year and if you've already failed.
You know I did.
What was your resolution?
To stop smoking and be a good kid for the rest of my life. And this go out for you little boys and girls out there too. Be careful.
To lose weight and to start working out more.
How's that going?
So far, so good. You know, it's kind of hard finding the time, but I'm trying.
No.
My New Year's resolution was to defeat the Joker, but I already did that. So, my New Year's resolution is just to chill out this year.
Most people make the same resolution each year. The top 10 resolutions are lose weight, quit smoking, drink less alcohol, eat healthy, get fit, get a better education, get a better job, spend more time with family, get organized, and manage stress. So did you make a resolution? Have you failed already, or are you still going? For Laker TV, I'm Dakota Futch. Thank you for your service, sir.
Well, if seeing more horror movies in 2014 was one of your New Year resolutions, you're in luck. Usually Hollywood serves up a few flicks right around the Halloween season, but today Laker TV entertainment editor Will Van Horn checks out why January is looking more like Janu-scary.
Christmas may be over, but it's already Halloween at the movies, with 3 of this month's films being I, Frankenstein, Devil's Due, and the new Paranormal Activity movie.
What I think is, well, if someone wants to release right after Christmas, it's their business. It's not my thing to decide.
I think that's just weird timing for the horror films, because normally they're like the summer blockbusters, not things you go to see after Christmas.
I think it's weird timing for it to come out right after Christmas. You would expect it either summertime or Halloween. It's just really weird, and you wouldn't expect to go see that right after Christmas.
Out of these 3 films, I, Frankenstein looks to be the winner.
The I, Frankenstein thing sounds kind of interesting.
I, Frankenstein with Aaron Icewick. That's the one I'm most looking forward to see.
All 3 of these films are currently in theaters for any of you horror fans.
Well, if you do watch one of those, don't do so on a weekday. The nightmares can keep you up. Though this weekend seems jam-packed full of events.
That's right. This Saturday we've got the academic team hosting the District Governor's Cup. Meanwhile, the speech team is hosting a tournament over at the middle school.
And don't forget, the wrestling is also hosting their own tournament on Saturday as well. You can watch it live on local cable TV and live streaming on CallawayLive.com.
Seems like Callaway has a full plate. So choose wisely, Lakers, and we'll see you next week on Laker TV.